what would you tell somebody who's in network marketing? They've been in it for a measure of time. Let's just say enough time for them to go, okay, I'm doing this. Not a, maybe they didn't just start today. Somebody who's had a measure of time and they're not hitting it. They're just like, dude, I'm not getting there. It's not paying off financially or otherwise. Talk us through that.
Well, I mean, what I did in finding and seeking mentorship was not something that was strategic. I just something innate in me thought that this would be really helpful because I've been
Mhm.
trying to go at it alone for a long time, just taking in information, processing it. Most people think that it's information they lack. No, if uh, can reflect upon it now and understand clearly what the reason that worked, but also the reason I was successful at MIT and graduated in that environment. And I have a
Mhm.
martial arts background as well. So what's the reason I was able to become a black belt and a martial arts, champion? Uh, it was the commonality. Now that I reflect back on it, is I was part of a mentorship program. I had a mentor who had authority, who I trusted, and they were showing me what I needed to do. And in every single one of those situations, there was struggle, there was trials and tribulations. What makes, you know, MIT what it is, like what makes this the most prestigious, technical institution, college in the world, uh, to the point where people are willing to spend $500,000 to attend there for 4 years. Well, what makes that different? Because they use the exact same books as other state schools and community colleges. They use the same books. Physics is physics, math is math. It doesn't change depending on what school you go to. They don't reveal secrets
Mhm.
that are somehow hidden. No, they put on the pressure. So you're expected to go faster and learn more than anywhere else. But they also have a support system where not only is it lectures, they have smaller group studies where it's like, a lecture for 100 people. Then they have these other, smaller classes with a different professor on that same topic for like 20 people. And then they have small study groups. And then they do one on one. And then they have office hours. And then there's a support structure outside of that. There's mental health resources, there's a hospital in case you fall and break something. They patch you up and go back to school. It's just this layer upon. If you're dyslexic, they'll read to you. Like what? Like
That's
I
crazy.
had a friend who was dyslexic at MIT. He literally couldn't read anything without it either turning upside down and going backwards. And so he had to, for every single assignment and for every exam he ever took at MIT, somebody had to read it to him, and then he had to like write the responses when he took a test. And they couldn't tell him that if he wrote something backwards because his dyslexia was so severe. Not only would he read backwards or upside down, he would write backwards or upside down.
Oh,
And
geez.
so the guy had to hint to him that, hey, something's not right without telling him, hey, that's upside down or that's backwards.
Yeah.
And because there were certain protocols. But anyway, he was willing to go through all of that, and MIT was paying somebody to read to him every single night for his assignments, to help him complete all his assignments, and read back to him what he wrote down. And so the way he knew he didn't write something down correctly was when the guy couldn't read it. When he started reading and then he was on stop, and that would trigger his brain that, oh, I wrote something backwards, and all of a sudden he could see it backwards. And so now he's like,
Mhm.
oh shoot, like, so it's anyway. That's how, in terms of resources that you have at that type of school, they put on the pressure, but then they don't let you fall out. And I remember many times, my advisor, who was the dean at, at at MIT, would just call me in because he was concerned because he saw my grade slipping. So he called me in. Is like, hey, what resources can we help you with? Are you doing all right? Like, they cared a lot, and that was really cool. And so that's the reason I believe people at MIT do so well is they put on the pressure unlike any other school, but they also have the resources to catch you if you need support. And one other thing is they believe in you 100%. They truly believe that they're the elite institution in the world, and they ingrain that in you. You are the best in the world at what you're doing. You're going to come out of here and like change the world in some way over and over again. That environment, you're brainwashed to believe that you're the best in the world. And the
Mhm.
same thing happened when I trained martial arts. Uh, the pressure is on, the training is intense. At the same time, you're led to believe that you're nothing but the best. That you're gonna there's no excuse for failure. There's no excuse for giving up. And I realized that I thrived in those environments. And so it was no coincidence that I thrived in this environment with this mentorship program with my mentor. And I think there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that are like that, that they thrive in environments that support them. So, I mean, there's the outliers. There's the people that kind of like will it into existence. There's the Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerbergs of the world that kind of like create enormous success out of nothing without anyone's help. They just kind of figure it out, and more power to them. But those are outliers. I think most people that are destined to that really want it, if they're just put in the right environment with the right mentor, they can thrive. And that doesn't mean everybody thrives. There's people that aren't willing to do the work. There's people that drop
Yeah.
out of MIT. There's people that dropped out of the mentorship program I was in. There's people that quit my martial arts program that I was in. And so there's still something about like how bad do you want it type of, conversation that needs to be there. There needs to be a full on commitment, but the commitment combined with being in the right environment and with getting that feedback that allows that self-doubt and the second guessing to fade away, those are the people that I'm most proud of that we help here at Attraction Marketing that couldn't figure it out on their own. And I think that's the majority of people that create success.
Yeah.
And I
I
forgot what your
agree with that.
initial question was, but that's where I went.
Hope you enjoyed our conversation with our speaker. I want to just remind you, if you are ready to stop chasing people and start having people chase you, if you're tired of all the spammy, scammy conversations all the time, you are invited to grab our free 5-day digital boot camp that will teach you how to attract the right kind of people, create the kind of influence so you can start enrolling those 3 to 7 customers each and every single week. And you can get that at the link below, or you can go to attractionmarketing.com/YouTube.